Welcome back to another stage dive. See, I think events are sometimes like fireworks. There's this big build up, big moment, big applause, and then everyone goes home. The crew starts to strike, LinkedIn gets a few humble brags, and then ultimately silence. But the smartest brands, the biggest brands, don't build moments anymore. They build worlds because audiences watch, but a community ultimately participates. An audience, you can perhaps have them for a few hours, but a community stays emotionally invested over time. And if we look at the gaming industry, when a new game launches, it doesn't just end when you finish playing it. There's always some sort of DLC, new maps, new quests, bonus missions, community challenges. See, DLC, downloadable content, isn't just extra content. It's a reason for people to ultimately come back. Now, imagine events worked like this. Yes, the keynote can be your main campaign. Breakout rooms are your side quests. Networking is your multiplayer mode. But post-event content is ultimately like DLC. It's an expansion pack. It gives people something more. Suddenly, the event isn't just over, it has an afterlife. And movies and series do the same thing. Marvel doesn't just release films and they continue with their day. No, they create universes. Star Wars doesn't just tell stories, it creates this mythology. Anime doesn't just create seasons, they create movies to provide their fans with extra content. Taylor Swift doesn't just come out of the blue and drops an album, she creates rituals and a shared identity. Fans don't just want some sort of content, they ultimately want access, they want context, they want to belong. And that's a lesson for events. We need to stop designing events as this one day single experience and start designing them as if they are living brand worlds. So how do we then turn our audience into some sort of community? First off, we need to start before the event. We need to give something to the people to participate in, something to vote on, something to contribute to, something to unlock, something to anticipate. And we shouldn't let the first emotional moment of an event be the registration desk. And second, we need to create some sort of participation. People feel supported, they feel excited to help shape something. So we need to let our audience influence our content, the questions, the conversations, and perhaps be brave and allow them to influence the outcomes. See, this June is one of the biggest months in gaming. Xbox, PlayStation, potentially even Nintendo, all have their game showcases where they launch their new projects that's coming up for the year. And every single YouTuber that's in the gaming scene and is currently alive is making videos about it. They're sharing what they hope will come from these events. And the comment sections are exploding. It's going wild because people want to participate and share. They want to inspire others to think like they think and drive the narrative forward. But then when we look at the events industry, nope, same old, same old. We don't try to do anything new because it always feels risky. And we need to challenge that risk avoidance behavior. And we need to start building new rituals. I think that's the third thing. We need to start building rituals. Communities need something that they can do together. A recurring opening, a signature moment, a shared phrase, a closing tradition. I don't know, because I don't know. I just think that rituals turns programming into some sort of culture. And then fourth, we need to create some post-event DLC. Not just send a handful of photos that some people weren't even included in, or a boring thank you for attending email. We need to send bonus content, whether that's behind the scenes content, a playbook that actually tells them what they need to do, a challenge, a extra Q&A for selected people, or the next chapter or steps of what our brands ultimately require from us, this greater action plan. Give the people something so that they can go out and change the world. Give people a reason to ultimately come back. Not to your event, but to your business. Because if every event only matters while people are inside the room, we haven't built any sort of community. We've actually just rented their attention. And the future of events is not about having bigger screens or louder sounds or fancier canapes, even though we all prefer the fancy canapes. Don't get rid of the canapes. The future belongs to brands that turn moments into some sort of momentum. From we only attended an event to we are part of something. That's where loyalty starts to form. That's where behavior starts to change. That is where a brand becomes more than just the message. Because ultimately, the lights will go off. The venue will be empty. But if you've done it right, hopefully you can create some sort of momentum with a community.